tonight. I think it's very important to us, those of us that have been meeting for several months now, to talk about this really important issue that can no longer be escaped. I guess the point of view that I want to kind of talk about, the importance of Iniva is more of kind of like a personal one as an artist. And for me that goes back to when I was studying on my BA between 2002 and 2005. And I remember when I was on the course, I found it really difficult to develop ideas where my politics were different to that of the tutors that were teaching us, and that really put me in a position where I really considered is this career the right position for me? Is it the right journey? And I think until one of my tutors actually mentioned to me, there's this place called Iniva that you should go to, that I was like, okay, what's this place? What do they have there? What is it? It's a kind of magic place or something. And I think what was really important for me was, to begin with anyway, was actually the library. This massive kind of like archive of like information that you just couldn't find anywhere else. The library that I went to, that I had at Westminster, and even going on to the Slade afterward, they definitely didn't have the kind of breadth of information that I needed to understand about my place within the art world, within the UK. And so I think especially when I finished, not just from Westminster but the Slade, when I met Teresa, and I received an opportunity to work on projects, to observe it. That really allowed me to do some of the things that I'd only studied about, and that was really important because it meant that I could actually take what I'm doing even more seriously. It can be actually part of my life, and it's also quite weird, sitting around those of you who've just spoken, because I read loads on you guys as a younger artist, as a kid. But I think what was really important as well for me when in finding out about the building coming together and Iniva being able to have a space where they could push out a lot of these ideas was to actually look at the idea of the future generation of artists that will continue ideas that artists such as Rashida Reem, Eddie Chambers, Keith Piper, Sonia Boyce, the list goes on, would continue. And I think that what I personally saw was a kind of a dwindling of this presentation of this new chapter. In fact, I don't even think that new chapter's really started. And that made me, and I know many other people, other artists, young artists around me, very angry, but also even more hungry to want to have this discussion, what's going on, what's happening with our future. And that's the position that I come from today, is that it's really important to look at the future and also the future generation. And it's easy for me to try and say that, oh well, we don't really need Iniva. I'm doing well. I've got Arts Council funding, whatever. But that's bullshit. That really is. And I think it's really important to consider those people that don't have their foot in the door yet, because we need to be able to cultivate a situation in which we share, and that's what I always remembered Iniva for being, and I think that's what needs to happen. So that's the